First thing I want to hit on is pricing. Pricing is by far the most important thing. We all know every property will sell at the right price, right? Every property. I mean, Clayton's got a house that's got crack pipes laying everywhere, and they're making credit cards in the bathroom. Like, I'm not kidding. This is real. This is real. Thomas can attest that there's a crack pipe there.
New specialization.
Never seen somebody test to see what the material is, but hey, like, a little Breaking Bad there. So we all know every property will sell at a price, right? It's just a matter of what that price is. I sold a property one time for $3,000 because half of it had burned down. So, but there was still somebody who bought a property that was halfway burned down in the inner city of Buffalo, where it had 2 feet of water in the house. Like there is a buyer for every property. It's just at what price. Could be $3,000, it could be $3 million, but every property will sell at the right price. So pricing is everything. So we've got to be much more diligent when pricing our listings right now. We cannot price things the same way we did 90 days ago. This is a new market. We've got to price things differently. So some of the things that I think that I want to hit on is just making sure you guys know how to pull comps, and Nick will go deeper with you guys. But when you guys are pulling comps, you should be spending 2 to 3 times as much time pulling comps as you were. But some of the things that you guys want to look at, make sure that you guys are matching the residential. This is fun. Make sure you're matching the residential styles appropriately. And a lot of you guys have sat in with me when I pull comps, but when you guys are doing residential styles, if it's detached, that's easy, right? But if it's condo, there's 4 different statuses. You have all other attached, you have townhome, you have row home, and you have twin home. The majority of people don't know the difference between these. As a result, anytime you pull in comps and there's a condo, you should be pulling all 4 of these. I'll help you guys understand the difference. But with that said, I have intentionally listed a row home as a townhome, and I know what I'm doing. And the reason is people don't search for row homes in Santee, right? Like, who the hell is searching for a row home in Santee? Like, sure, if you're in if you're in Hillcrest, Mission Hills, there's a lot of row homes. It's normal. But it's abnormal in Santee. And so it actually is a detrimental thing to list something as a row home there, where it might make sense in another market. So twin home, we'll start at the bottom. A twin home is a duplex with 2 separate owners. That's what a twin home is. It's 1 building, 2 units, 2 separate owners. Looks exactly like a duplex. The difference is a duplex has 1 owner, twin home has 2 separate owners. Could be the same owner who owns both units, but it's 2 separate properties on a twin home. Twin homes, some of them are condominiumized. And I think, Jen, the one you sent over yesterday is not condominiumized. There's no rule on that. The easy way is just look at the last 2 of the APN. If it ends in 00, it's not condominiumized. And if it ends in any 2 numbers, it is condominiumized. Just a little indicator. Yeah.
That's only in San Diego County, though, right?
Yes. Right. San Diego County only. So sorry.
And what does it mean if it has been funded?
Then you're going to potentially need approval for FHA and VA. So you'll find this also when we get into row homes. If the APN ends in 00, it does not require FHA or VA approval. Now, it still has to meet minimum property requirements. So it's like got to have a kitchen and a bathroom and all the things, but it does not need to be on the FHA or VA approved list. In fact, if you try to find something that ends in 00 on the list, you're not going to find it. And then you might be like, oh, well, like these ones in Santee, you would be like, oh, well, this one's not FHA approved because it's not on the list. Well, it's not on the list because the APN ends in 00 and it's not necessary. Cool. So twin home, duplex, 2 separate owners. Yeah.
What's the difference between row home and
We're working there, baby. I got you. Yeah, eager beaver. Yeah. What? Well, I'm going to answer it. He asked a question prematurely. Okay.
My comment is about manufactured homes versus detached. No one's looking for manufactured homes. Do we get in hot water if we just list it as a detached?
If it's in a park with a land lease, you should not list it as detached. So the question is, if we're getting a thing called a catch box, just as a heads up, it's a little phone box. Tom Ferry has these at his events. So when somebody has a question, or if you're on your phone, I can throw it at you. But if you have a question, I can throw it and you can speak into the box. So the question was manufactured homes. Can we put a manufactured home on the MLS as detached? I would say yes, unless it's in a park on leased land, then it should be manufactured. Okay, so row home and townhome. If you look at these visually, 99% of the time, you're going to think they're the exact same thing. There is a slight difference. The difference is a townhome has a common wall between the two units, and a row home has two individual exterior walls. So a row home, technically, if me and AJ have two units next to each other, if it's a townhome, there's one wall. And if I punch through that wall, I'm going to go drywall, air, drywall, and then I'm in his unit. And a row home, there's going to be two technically exterior walls with a minimal amount of airspace between those two exterior walls. So I'm going to have to punch through like 4 walls to get through versus 2 walls. You can tell the difference between a row home and a townhome, same exact way. Also, a row home will typically not only have end in 00, it'll show as single family residence, which will be like, this isn't single family. They're connected. They're actually not connected. There's a little bit of airspace. There's usually just a piece that covers the airspace so you don't see it. And the identifier between these on a townhome or row home, typically you think of a townhome as being 2 stories. That is typical, but that's not a requirement. It just means there's nobody above you or below you. So you can have a 1-story townhome. Sounds weird to say, but a townhome can be 1 story. But a townhome will end in whatever. I'm just using those numbers. But that's another identifiable way. This will also show as condo in the tax record, and this will show as SFR in the tax record. Now, row home, if you're in an area where row homes are common, again, Mission Hills and Hillcrest is the most common part of San Diego where you have them, you're safe going with row home. But if you list in, I don't even remember the complex, River Walk. It's in River Walk. Yeah, so it's across from the YMCA and Sportsplex in Santee. Nobody is looking for a row home in Santee. So I intentionally will list it as a townhome. But because of the fact most people don't know this difference, or they intentionally mislist it, it's super important you include all of these in there. But a row home does not require FHA or VA approval because it'll end in 00 and it's technically an SFR. All other attached is basically anything that's not included in those definitions. So that could mean you have somebody above you or somebody below you, that it's a condo, multi-unit, whatever. That includes basically everything that doesn't fit into any one of those categories. So when you're doing condos, super important that you guys include all 4 of these statuses. Even if you know it's one or the other, you don't know how other agents are going to see it. So very important that you guys list those appropriately. Cool.